Eugene Aseev, ladies and gentlemen, Head of R&D for Acronis, Singapore. Well, Eugene, thank you for coming on the show. Tell us more of what you do at Acronis.
Right. So Acronis is generally a data protection company, so we're doing a very fundamental products like backup, disaster recovery, file sync and share solutions. Recently, around a couple of years ago, we started looking into the blockchain industry, and we decided to create product Acronis Notary, which is a specific platform for notarizing digital objects on the blockchain. So the beauty of our solution is that we are making it for a very low price and making it very fast, because obviously there are a number of notarization solutions in the market, and even Bitcoin blockchain has its own notarization feature, but it usually costs around several tens of dollars to notarize a single object on the Bitcoin blockchain, and we're doing it for the fraction of a cent. So,
well, Eugene, you look like you have been doing this all your life, right? You look so comfortable in front of the camera and stuff, and I'm sure you're an expert at what you do with regards to data security and with the blockchain community as well. I just want to find out a bit more about what is your take on the industry in 2017, this year, how things have progressed along the year. From your point of view, how do you see this happening or going towards in 2018?
Sure. This was an extremely interesting year. I think that a lot of things has changed since the beginning of the year, and we'll see more changing things to 2018. So in this year, there was a boom of new projects, new areas, exploratory stage, a lot of experiments. So I think that in 2018 we'll see more mature projects. We'll see. There was a great touch on that in the main stage, where the presenter asked, "Okay, guys, so how many of you are having tokens?" And like half of the people like raised their hands and like, "Okay, we have the tokens." So what percentage of yours are using your tokens like as an utility tokens? There's a couple of people like raising their hands. So that's what I think will change in 2018. There will be more utility of the tokens that are being issued, and that they will be issued on the blockchain, and there will be more real use cases, because in this year there were a lot of experiments from the big players like banks, from the smaller companies, from the startups, and there were a lot of small things and POCs in this area. But I think next year there will be first major application of blockchain, not like Bitcoin as a value asset, but as a utility. So these decentralized apps, which everybody is talking about, I think that there will be a year of the first major application of decentralized app in the world.
And how would Acronis be positioned in this case to be a game changer?
Correct.
Because the more of such projects come up, the better it is for you.
Correct.
How do you see yourself changing or spearheading the industry next year?
Correct. So we at Acronis, we want to serve as a platform for everyone to be able to notarize their object for a very, very small price and very efficiently. So that's our ultimate goal. So whenever anyone, either a blockchain startup or a major player in any industry, can and want to preserve the authenticity of the objects, here we come into the play. So we can basically authenticate all the objects once they are written on the blockchain through our platform, and we're doing it very, very quickly for a very small price, and with a very reasonable and nice user interface. So you don't need to integrate. So basically, if someone wants to use blockchain as a database for preserving the authenticity of objects, he needs to go through a certain steps. He needs to figure out, okay, what is blockchain? So how do I use it? How do I write to blockchain, etc., etc. So we just make it very easy to use, because we have a very simple API for everyone to integrate with, and everybody can just, okay, I want to notarize this object, and then I want to get the certificate of this object. I want to print it out. I want to send it to anyone. I want to sign it with some other counterparties. Easy. So we want to make it easy, very cheap, and very fast.
Well, see, the thing is, you rightly pointed it out, is the interface and the processes are actually dealing with the cryptocurrencies and the tokens is very clunky for a layperson to come in. Like, that's one of the major roadblocks for anyone, the average users, to come in and say, oh, let's partake in this, or even buy this various tokens. So with your API, and I hear this mentioned many times, fast and cheap, which is by the way, Singaporeans love fast and cheap.
Correct.
You are poised as the main backbone or structure where all these other projects can come on board, and we interface with the community to just come in and use a very simple API to just interact with all these various other businesses.
Correct.
Sounds like a winning project to me, man.
Yeah, we're getting better and better. We're getting traction, so we have a number of pilot projects already. We have very big players in the game, like automotive industry is like #1 for us. So we're dealing with a number of automotive industry players in Japan in order to support our products, support our platform. So far, they like it very much.
Sure, man.
So I think that will be great.
So far, from what I'm hearing, that I can't find anything not to pick a bone with it at all. But as head of R&D, I got to ask you some of the stuff that we people don't read on the internet, because you do your intensive research on this.
Sure.
What are some of the things that you have found out that is so critical for business in a blockchain that perhaps 90% of the population are not aware?
Okay. So for business as a user, or for business as a like provider of
As
blockchain?
a provider, then.
Right.
Maybe you can do both. If there's a difference, tell me both.
All right.
Yeah.
So as a provider of blockchain services, you need to be very clear, very transparent, and you need to have some sort of SLAs of your service. This is very important because blockchain is, for instance, if you take Ethereum blockchain, we played with it along during these 2 years, and sometimes it's getting like slower over time. Sometimes it's getting like stuck when the ICO is running, etc., etc. So you need to consider a lot of technical issues while working with the blockchain. So as a company provider serving some blockchain services, you need to be very clear what are your SLAs for the service that you provide. Because if someone, as a big player, like let's say a company with 10,000 employees, 20,000 employees, wants to use a service, they want to be sure that your service is secure enough, that it's integral to what they are doing, so that the business streamline is not stopped by your service because it's running on some experimental platform like blockchain. So this is very important to provide some kind of SLAs for your service that you provide, especially if you do some kind of like fundamental service like database on the blockchain or something like this. So whatever people will use every day.
Okay.
So this is critical as soon as I see for technological blockchain solution providers like ours, for instance.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Eugene. I look forward to your project next year.
Cool. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure.